SBR Forum's Super Bowl coverage is sponsored by DraftKings.
I'm Peter Loshak. We are covering Super Bowl 47 right now with Troy West and Jeff Cadillac. Troy West and Jeff Cadillac, of course, been giving regular previews all playoffs long with us. And last week we covered both of the championship games. Jeff and Troy both agreed with each other last week, and they were both right. 2-0 last week, both of them. Congratulations, guys. We just got finished talking about the total, and now we're going to start, we're going to talk about the spread. Jeff Cadillac, thanks for being back with us, wearing his tux again.
Thank you, Peter. Great to be here.
Looking very, very sharp. Tell us a little bit about jeffcadillac.com before we get into the spread on Super Bowl 47.
Okay, jeffcadillac.com. I analyze all the NFL games all season long. I post my picks. I do recaps, and it's all free all the time.
Very, very. You look like a freaking movie star, Jeff Cadillac. Look at that. Look at that. Well, all I care about is that. What's your record in the playoffs, ATS, on your site?
8-2, baby. 8-2. Let's make it 9-2.
Against the spread. And we have, of course, joining us as well. You're probably all familiar with him, Troy West from allplayswin.com, who also went 2-0 last week in the conference championships. Troy, thanks for being back with us.
Thanks, Pete. Appreciate it. Looking forward to the Super Bowl. It's a fun time of year. You know, we don't cover just the NFL. We do it all from tennis to golf to college basketball, NBA. You got it at allplayswin.com. Encourage the viewers to come check out our website. All of our plays are documented. They're put on the homepage every single day.
Well, for our regular viewers, know that your record with us all year long in the videos has been awesome. And for the new viewers watching Troy West for the first time, trust me, his record this year in our videos was awesome. And if you want to, you can go back, watch all the videos, and track it yourself. All right, let's talk about the spread. Super Bowl 47. The Niners are a 3.5-point favorite against the Ravens. And as we all know, this line opened at about 5. The early money has come in on Baltimore. And, you know, just looking around at the sports community and the sports betting community, it seems like there's a lot of people liking Baltimore here. I know that on CBS Sportsline, 8 out of the 10 guys picked Baltimore to win outright. That's not just against the spread, to win outright. Let's start with you, Jeff Cadillac. What do you make of this line, Niners minus 3.5?
Well, I'll tell you something, Peter. I have to go against what those guys are saying because
Sure.
I like San Francisco minus 3.5 in this one. I think Colin Kaepernick, he's been playing very well. And last week against Atlanta, he showed that he played with his brain and not his feet. Because what he did against Atlanta, they were playing him to keep the ball and run the ball, and he held it to the last second and gave it to Frank Gore, and there was a clear path to the end zone. So what I think also what's going to happen in this game is because you have the Harbaugh brothers basically playing each other, you're going to see that they're going to pull tricks out of the bag because they're going to be anticipating each other as like a chess game, but they're going to have to show something different that they might not have shown during the regular season to the other teams that they played. I think it's going to be a tight game. I definitely like San Francisco minus 3.5. I think the Ravens have played a very good playoff run, but I think this is where it ends.
All right, what do you make of the fact there's a stat that everyone's throwing around? It's like Flacco, he's thrown 8 touchdowns, no interceptions in the playoffs, and there's some stat where like a quarterback who throws no interception in the playoffs or something like that has won, his team has won the Super Bowl and the quarterback's won the MVP every time out. So how do you feel about Flacco suddenly playing phenomenally in the playoffs? Doesn't worry.
That's great. I mean, 5 years in the league, he should be playing pretty good.
Right, but that doesn't worry you betting against him?
At least he's not playing like Mark Sanchez after 4 years.
Okay.
So, Flacco, hey, he's playing great. But the San Francisco defense, they're rated number 4 against the rush and 4 against the pass. So I think, they're going to play it tight. This is a San Francisco team that definitely does not want to be the first San Francisco team to lose in the Super Bowl. And, the last time these two brothers faced each other was in 2011 at Baltimore. Baltimore beat San Francisco 16-6. So, I do think, Jim Harbaugh is going to definitely pull out some tricks. I like San Francisco in this one. I'm waiting to hear what Troy has to say.
Yeah, let's go to Troy West from allplayswin.com. I have to say my slight lean initially is agreeing with Jeff. I do like the Niners. Well, I think to be safe, I would buy down to 3. Troy, what do you think about this line?
I'm rolling with Baltimore in this game right now. I think Baltimore is riding this unbelievable high through the playoffs. I don't know how you could bet against them right now. I mean, they play what I thought was the hottest team in the NFL, the New England Patriots, and as a 9.5, 10-point underdog, they beat them by 15 points. How can you bet against Baltimore right now? I know San Francisco took down Atlanta, but you know what? Atlanta wasn't playing very good football, and they had completely outplayed the 49ers for 3.5 quarters. I know Kaepernick's playing well, but you know what? He hasn't seen a defense like Baltimore. You look what Baltimore did against Tom Brady. What are they going to do to a guy like Colin Kaepernick, who for the most part, when he sees good defenses, struggles a little bit, and his decision-making does get a little crazy. I like Baltimore. I just do not see how you could bet against this football team. With what Ray Lewis has inspired this defense to do the last few weeks, with what Joe Flacco's doing, with Ray Rice playing at as high as levels he can play as a running back. Everything's clicking right now for Baltimore. I'm not taking anything away from the 49ers. They're playing great. If you look at the road that the Ravens have done, they go into Denver and win. They take care of New England, no problem. I mean, they've just played great football. I cannot bet against them. I'm taking Baltimore. I think Baltimore wins the game outright. I'm on the train right now. The Ravens win this football game.
Yeah, and containing Tom Brady and beating the Pats was amazing. But Kaepernick's a different kind of quarterback. I mean, Brady is a classic pocket quarterback. Kaepernick is a very mobile quarterback who has, they can do a lot of option stuff that Brady couldn't do. That doesn't worry you a bit?
Not really. I think they're going to make Kaepernick make throws. And the Baltimore Ravens defense is phenomenal. I think they have great game plans every single week they go in. They'll be on game plan. They got 2 weeks to prepare for Kaepernick.
Sure.
Not 1, 2 weeks. I think that plays a big role in this game. I think they're going to be ready. They're going to make Kaepernick do things that he's not used to doing. I like the chances with Flacco. I think he's got those extra few years under his belt. He's playing well right now. He's proven the critics wrong. I think the better team is the Ravens in this game. I really do. I think coaches are kind of a wash. You got 2 phenomenal coaches going head-to-head. I do agree. I think it will be close. I do agree with Jeff in the fact it will be somewhat of a chess match. But even then, you got to like having 3.5 points with the Ravens. I don't think the 3.5 is going to come into play. I think Baltimore wins this football game. They're just clicking on all cylinders. They're playing way too good right now to let up in the Super Bowl. 49ers got in. Like I said, they took care of Atlanta like they needed to, but it took a lot more than 3.5 quarters for the 49ers to take down an Atlanta team. And Matt Ryan played really good football against them.
I agree with you that the 2 weeks, that the extra week off helps the Ravens tremendously. Jeff, let's go back to Jeff Cadillac. What do you think about that? 3.5 points is a lot of points. And look, I mean, you picked the Ravens against the spread, in the conference championship against the Pats. I did not have the guts to go on that. And then beating Brady and Belichick like that, very, very impressive. Now they're getting more than a field goal. That doesn't scare you a bit?
Not really, because like Troy said about the pocket passers and everything, and you mentioned that this year Baltimore did play 2 games against option-type quarterbacks. They did play against Philly in Week 2, which they lost, and they also played in Week 14 against RG3, and they also lost that game as well. So, when the Ravens, when they pursue, like let's say a Colin Kaepernick, what I watched very carefully in the Atlanta game last week is that what the Atlanta defensive ends did and the outside linebackers is they pursued their normal, chase. But when they saw that Kaepernick had handed off the ball, they were over pursued, and it gave a clear path. And that's what's going to happen with Baltimore. They're going to usually pursue on the outside. Kaepernick's going to see that. He's going to hand the ball off, and it's going to be clear sailing.
So, Troy, you just heard Jeff completely disagreeing with you.
Sounds like Jeff needs to be a defensive coordinator in the NFL. But no, I just think 2 weeks to prepare for this guy. Kaepernick's shown weakness throughout the year. He hasn't been lights out all season long. You look what he did against Seattle. He was god-awful. Seattle's defense is pretty similar to Baltimore. Physical, fast. Baltimore is going to come out and lay hat. You watch what they did against New England. New England receivers were scared to catch the ball towards the end of that game. And it showed. I just think Kaepernick's going to have to make plays in the pocket. He showed he could against Atlanta. Much different secondary here with Baltimore. I really, really like Baltimore to be able to slow Kaepernick down and slow that offense down. I don't think Kaepernick's going to be able to have his way, so I do disagree with Jeff.
All right. Well, Jeff Cadillac likes the Niners -3.5. Troy West from allplayswin.com likes the Ravens +3.5. We will see in the end who's right. Thanks so much, guys, for doing another great preview with us.